Hi, this is Jen Mitchell Love from Solace Divorce Mediation. This video is giving you guidance when you are navigating the divorce space and reaching the agreements in terms of your parenting agreement. The overarching guidance from the law is best interest of children. And I think a lot of times when we're thinking about the parenting agreement, specifically about the parenting time plan, the week to week parenting time plan, I think a lot of parents can get caught up in their heads of thinking of what you want, and unfortunately too, I think in many states, the number of overnights spent with the children also factors into the child support formula, which normally, the financial kind of issues in divorce have a different guidance, not best interest of children, but most commonly fair and equitable. And so it's kind of merging the parenting plan, you know, best interest of children with the financial stuff, fair and equitable. And it's kind of a weird space potentially. And so my guidance for you when you are navigating the space of a parenting agreement is to really try to step into your children, really try to be in the space of your children and kind of see through their lens. What would they want? What is in their best interest? You know them better than anyone else. So if your kids are is a home if your child is a homebody, it's going to be difficult to go back and forth potentially. If your child is older, and has like high school and has their own friend group and their own things going on, is it in their best interest to go back and forth so much? Kids being involved in extracurricular activities and having pediatricians, where are we going to do all of this? And I think, what I've seen in doing this work for almost 20 years is it can be hard for parents because a lot of times they're saying, well, I want this, I want to see them and I want to do this. And I think if we can shift to a space of really sitting in the space of your child or your children and really seeing the world through their lens and asking yourself what would they want, how would they feel most comfortable and most safe and most loved. I think that's when we can really create parenting agreements that feel really good in the moment. And I say in the moment because your parenting agreement, it's basically like a foundation. It's managing your expectations for right now. And the document itself is very much a jellyfish. It's very flowy. It can move into different spaces as your children age, and new things happen in your children's lives as you continue your journey and new things happen in your life. The parenting agreement terms can change. And so just know that too. You want to have this shared understanding that this is a flexible document, and it's focused on the best interest of our kids, and their best interest can change as time goes on, and you don't have to go to court to battle it out, to fight about, changing your parenting agreement moving forward. At Solace, I help coach all my clients to understand and learn and know how they can change it organically on their own, as the parents. And so you can totally do that. And, creating a parenting agreement is a really beautiful space for you to explore with your forever co-parent, focused on your kids that you love more than anything in the world. And of course, when you're creating this document too, and this overall agreement, um, it is nice to check in with your kids. And I'm not saying asking them, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? It's like not giving them the power and control, but it's really opening space to explore. How are you feeling? What are you feeling? What are you thinking you want to do? You have X, Y, and Z sports and friends and all of these things. What do you think is going to work, for you? And just opening that space and allowing our children to be heard and seen and have their desires and their wants to be part of your experience with your co-parent in creating the terms of your parenting agreement. I am sending you much love as you navigate this space. And my intention for you is to stay focused on your children, and everything will be in flow and everything will be magical and in alignment as long as everyone has that shared intention that you are shifting from one space of relationship married to another space of relationship co-parents and friends, and hopefully huge cheerleaders and supporters for one another, and that you're doing this with love and with intentionality and mindfulness. And you're focused on the health and well being of your children and also on your beautiful self, and that you want good things for your co parent moving forward as well. And that whole energy vibration that I just shared is a really beautiful space for you to co create within. And I'm sending you love as you navigate this space and as you create together.